What's up, Flaniverse? We are back with two of the best grinders on Underdog here. Mathology joins me every week on this show. He is Mathology on Underdog, Mathology 13 on Twitter. And we have Chris G here today as well. CG on Underdog with I believe 6 E's. Chris G on
Six
Twitter
E's.
with the 6 E's as well. So a couple grinders here who have absolutely crushed. Chris made it to the inaugural Dawg Bowl in Miami. Math, of course, made it last year and got third place. Two of the best to talk through these games here. Sixth place. Yeah, that's right. So, and of course, Math won the BBM regular season top, not prize, zero prize, but he was the champ last year in the regular season, and chasing it again with some teams near the top again this year. Pretty insane stuff. Excited to be talking with these two. Chris, you being the guest today, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Just another lovely day in Dallas, Texas. Just trying to live and have a good time and check out these matchups and get into the football. It's my favorite part of the week.
Oh, it's always fun. This is honestly, this show is always my first look at the slate. Also, I know that Math comes prepared, so I don't have to prepare as hard for this one. He'll give me my first look at the slate, which is always good. I do want to congratulate Charles. Made it into the Dawg Bowl last week. Math pointed that out to me. That's pretty exciting. Good for you, man. I have to say, Math, I posted on Twitter about a team that I drafted in the Walgreens parking lot. I've been posting about it because I posted about it on the day of. I was in line at the pharmacy at Walgreens and had like tons of people in front of me. So I decided I'm just going to get into a draft right now, a best ball draft. And by the time I got to the second round, I was up at the counter. So it was like I thought I had all this time, and then turned out it got a lot quicker. So I ended up drafting a whole best ball team in I forget what the contest is now, but in the Walgreens parking lot. And I tweeted about it, I posted about it. And today I posted, it's currently in second place in the contest on the main leaderboard. And the funny thing is, I thought about it, I was like, I feel like I had just talked to Math and I was like kind of trying to follow his advice. It was like after you had given your purity scores and stuff, I went back and looked. It was that same week of our very first show when we went over your purity scores. So it was very much a team that I drafted using the Math strategy. And of course, it's second place in the contest right now. Do you have two teams in the top 100 on BBM, or you have at least one in the top 100, Math?
I know I have one. I'll look real quick.
It'd be so cool for you to take it down again and actually make money on it this time. That'd be pretty cool. So
I have two in the top 100 and three in the top 125.
Yeah. So Matthew, you lead the show. So what do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So thanks for the shout out, Chris. Thanks a lot for joining. This is going to be fun. Yeah. So Dawg Bowl time. It's this is the time. The lobby's already getting pretty sweaty. What do you think so far, Chris, of what you liking this week? And but first, how was last week for you?
I didn't really have the right combos. You basically needed Jonathan Taylor as your top 3 pick to get there, and then you needed to get lucky and get Jalen Hurts to fall to you, which happened a lot in the early draft. So shout out to our boy Nez. Like, he had so many in the top 20 last week, and if you looked at one of his best teams was an early team which had Jonathan Taylor, Jordan Mason, and it had Jalen Hurts. So he had the nutted top 3 guys you needed. It just needed Hunter Henry, to matter. So it was just really, really solid placement. That's why I think the biggest takeaway from Dawg Bowl is try to get some in early, wait for the projections to come out, do a little bit at the end, wait for the swaps. You have to go over the whole contest. And like I said, I think we talked about it a little bit. I'm not into the Houston game that much this week, but there's a lot of high totals, 45.5 and plus. So there's going to be some fireworks in a couple of these games, and they might shoot out and be higher than expected. Kind of like Indy and Tennessee last week, which had 60-something points, which is a lot to with JT, pretty much. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, so I want to quickly, I'm going to share something I've been tracking this week or this season so far, and it's just my own little spreadsheet. So I just want to quickly kind of go over this and show something new for everybody. Here's the top 10 finishes for the last 3 weeks of this season. And Chris, I'd like to get your opinion and maybe some things that jump out to you. But as you can see, week 1, low scoring week, 115 punched it. and it was a 1-1-3-1, but for the most part, it was 1-1 or 1-2-2-1 roster construction that really kind of dominated the top 10. This week, Bijan was a big one. Quarterback was, you had 3 different guys getting the top 10. Wide receiver was kind of spread out a little bit, but definitely you can see a Puka and Mbuka, JSN, and you also had Wilson. So kind of, very condensed down is the have to have it type of plays. And then you got your tight ends here. Ownership was kind of spread from a lot of good scrolls that got it at the top here. And then, roughly in that 500 range. I'm just taking what Underdog posts after pre-lock, just kind of quickly adding them up. And then I got the draft spots here. And then how many main slate touchdowns there was. This is just offensive touchdowns, kind of the average ownership of the week from the top 10. And then this construction percentages is just like pretty much 1-2-2-1. So at a 8 out of 10 had the 1-2-2-1 roster construction. I thought that was kind of so low scoring week. 1-2-2-1 was kind of dominant in the top 10. And then week 2, as everybody knows, we kind of had a high scoring week, 153 all the way down to 137. But the top 3 was 153 to 143. And again, with a high scoring week, the roster construction from 1-2-2-1 actually went down to 60%. So it was a little bit more even on 1-1-3-1s. But this was the Goff week. You had to have Goff, those Goff doubles. As you can just see, St. Brown was everywhere. Rome was the bring back in that game. Which I think that's how it played out. But 5-13, so it was a little bit more of a chalky, not too many scrolls on that one, other than the Goff was like at 60% ownership in the Dawg Bowl week 2 slate. And then the week 3 slate was kind of interesting to me because we had a lot less touchdowns because we had so many defensive touchdowns last week. But 128, and that was my prediction going in, was 128.5, I said would punch tickets. And I think Lee said he thought about the same, a little bit lower. So we're kind of directionally accurate with how we saw the slate being played in week 3. Hurts and Williams, and you had one May in here. But again, the roster construction on a low scoring slate was 1-2-2-1 was dominant, other than this 9th place finish here that you had as a Hurts, Kyron, Puka, Mbuka, Smith, Henry team. And then again, roster construction kind of like with the ownership kind of around that 5-10. So you're really drafting 3 guys that are 100% owned. And then the next 3 are kind of close to 100% owned, or in that kind of 50-60% range is kind of what we're looking at least that has tracked well so far, looking at the slate. So anything that jumps out of to you, Chris, just by quickly looking at this? I know you didn't have any prep on it.
No, so looking at this right now, I'll tell you, week 3 is for the grinders. Like 1-2-2-1, getting in, doing as many as you can, getting right combinations, like where you have to have it. When you get a Goff week like that, when it goes to 150 plus, anything goes. As long as you have Goff, St. Brown, and maybe a bringback or Gibbs, you're going to be placing really, really high. And you just need those right select pieces. Like when I look at the end, I just think, hey, that's a grinding week. You get Hurts, Williams, May, 3 different quarterbacks get you there. Possibly. You just need the nuts at the running back position, which was Mason and Taylor, if you could combine that, which didn't happen unless it was very early. So I really like those type of slates. This week, I feel like it's going to be another high-scoring week. Like there's too many high-total games, 45.5. There's only 2 really like low-scoring games, which happens to be Detroit. I don't know if it's ticked up since Monday night. I haven't checked, but I know Houston. The Houston game is trending in the wrong direction. But the rest of them are averaging 43 to 47. And you got teams that just like to throw like New Orleans. Yeah, they played terrible last week, but they're going to play against the Buffalo Bills. And if you think Josh Allen's going to be optimal in this, you gotta have New Orleans scoring some points. And the guy who's getting the most targets is Chris Olave. So, and Juwan.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. Anything, Neil, that you think from, you only do a couple of these, so any angles or any roster construction or any kind of angle you kind of see?
Well, just looking at what you're showing here, I'm actually kind of surprised at how low scoring the week was last week. I think I would have pegged it to be a higher scoring week, even like with the benefit of hindsight. I would have thought because of how much Caleb went off and the Hurts like double, triple stack scored so many points plus the kind of later round running backs, Jordan Mason. I guess Kenneth Walker like sort of got there, but not in a huge way. But then JT with a big score. I'm a little bit surprised that these were not higher scoring teams taking it down last week, which just goes to show that this is kind of a fun week, week 3, just to see how many different ways you could get to the top with all these different stacks.
There was only one real big like correlation, which was what Jalen AJB or Jalen Devonta. The rest of it, you could like to get to Henry, like no one was taking Henry. Like I'm pretty sure he was really low owned comparatively to the tight ends, because I remember passing on him a lot, going, "Oh, he's my 30% owned in BBM," and now I'm just not even taking him. And I'm looking back and I'm like, man, it'd probably be pretty hard to get from JT to Hurts and go, you know what? Because what I was doing in the 6th round was, hey, Goddard might play, Goddard might not play. So I'll take Goddard, and then I'll have the Q tag, and I can swap him to whoever the leftover tight end, which would have been Hunter Henry probably. So it's insane how that shakes out. So it's props to these guys. Yeah, props to these guys. Like, and I was really in on Jaden Daniels this week, because I was like, oh, knee problem, probably going to practice Friday. Let me take all this 4th, 5th round, 6th round ADP values. And it didn't shake out, but Mariota played a decent game. He just didn't play enough. Right. Yeah, exactly.
We talked about that last week a fair amount as well. The Jaden Daniels play as like a game theory. Like you could just like get Jaden Daniels too cheap, or you get Mariota, who's also a really strong fantasy asset with your swap.
And not only that, Mariota probably be more in the top here if Terry McLaurin actually gets that touchdown in, like that long touchdown in. Because if he gets that, that's an extra 4 points going his way. Plus, I stacked Mariota a lot, double stacking, because I was like, oh, it's going to be high scoring. And it just is crazy. So, it is what it is. Yeah. But I'm doing about 40 entries. How many are you doing, Matt? You doing a fair bit, man? Or what are you doing?
Yeah, I've been right around the 25 number.
I'll be doing 4 or 5 probably. So I'm not trying to chase this to the same extent you guys are.
Yeah. And we kind of saw it yesterday in the Badge Bros. That was, just a handful, guys were punching it with just a bunch of handfuls. So it's really slate specific how you want to attack it and getting in that right kind of draft room. You see the guy that hit the top. I mean, it was an early draft that he had a nice falling value, getting that really it's that 3rd round slide of that. It's a running back or a quarterback that really helps out people.
Matt, can I ask you one question? Because I know you did the masterclass, and I don't know if they have more data on this, but just looking at the number of like 1131 versus 1221, like I want to know relative to how many people draft that way, like how many in the top 10 relative to how many of the full field are drafting 1131, 1221. Is that something that they talked about at all in the masterclass? Do we know if that data is out there somewhere? Because that's what I'd be curious about. Like if it's okay.
Yeah, it is. They go in great depths of roster construction in 6-man versus 12-man. A lot more on the 6-man, but Nez talks about it in the Dawg Bowl section of the masterclass in great length. And that 1-2-2-1 is a very powerful build. All in all. Cool.
Which, by the way, you can use promo code MATH. You can get 10% off the Underdog Masterclass if you are interested. But that's just I always want to put things in context of like, okay, this is what we're seeing at the top, but like if 99.9% of teams are doing this structure, well, then I don't care that much. That was kind of my assumption, is that it's probably more even, and you're just seeing an outsized proportion of the 1-2-2-1 at the top is kind of what I've gathered from watching some Badge Bros and conversations like this.
I mean, truthfully, I love the 1-2-2-1 because you have 2 running backs that can go ape on their team. Then you have the quarterback stacked with 1 guy that can go off for you, like Jared Goff and Amon-Ra. And then you have the tight end that you can either correlate with it, stack it up with the quarterback, or you can just take one off and hope that he gets a garbage time touchdown to give you 14 points on a low scoring tight end week, which can win you everything, which is great.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a good shout. Yeah, go easy cards. He was 3 the first week, then he went up to 26, and then he had 19 last week. So again, you don't have to max this thing to do well, to punch that ticket. I mean, it definitely helps to have that many shots on goal, but at the same time, a lot of them are going in with a plan of I want this many double stacks and this kind of combo, and you can miss that draft room when you're drafting that way, that really scoop up the value sometimes if you're kind of going in with a pre-plan like that.
Yeah, I definitely made a mistake last week where I was taking a lot of Kamara. I was like, oh, his usage is still pretty good. And then I watched the game again, and I was like, man, he's not getting the dump offs like he used to. Like, watching the tape helped me out a little bit to go, man, I don't know if that's a good pick for me. I'm like, I probably should have took more Kenneth Walker. And then it actually broke right for everybody that take Kenneth Walker, because Charbonnet was out for the week, and he's just got all that usage. And he probably would have done way better if the game wasn't 40-something to 3, So
yeah, that killed all the Seattle players, that it was so out of hand so early. We lost Math. Not sure what happened there. we also lost his screen.
I've been looking over the slate a little bit. Do you mind if I talk about it while we wait for him?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so I'm looking, like, I'm a high proponent of the 1-2-2-1, and actually Chad, Nez, and a couple of the other guys got me on it. But like, looking at this running back slate this week, it is disgusting for me. Like, there's not enough good backs in my opinion, and it's probably going to lean me closer to the 1-1-3-1. And I see myself doing that a lot more, because I'd rather take the shots on goal with getting a high upside wide receiver, getting 1 or 2 touchdowns, and get me 20 points that way on a big play, than just like, I don't know. Let me look. Having Tony Pollard go into Houston line a lot.
Right.
I mean, or having David Montgomery go up against Cleveland, even though he just played amazing against the Ravens. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, and I like the point of it. Like, everything is always so slate dependent, and so like you can look at the data and be like, okay, this is what's worked so far, and that's always I think a mistake that some people make, is trying to like, okay, this is what worked last week, so I got to do the 1-2-2-1 this week. I think it's really sharp to adjust to, this is a new week. We don't really have the strong running back options, so maybe adjust your gameplay is something that I think has always been really important in DFS, and probably just as important in these draft games.
Yeah, good shout out. Just want to quickly, as before we enter kind of the Underdog lobby real quick, I just wanted to kind of show a little bit of my process. I use Fantasy Life on this kind of game models they have. It's a pretty cheap. I think it's like $9 for the whole season or something like that. But you can kind of see kind of quickly what they're liking, what the game flow will be. I think there's a couple games that stand out. Detroit at the 27. That's a lot of points. I'm always trying to attack the teams that are going to score 3+ touchdowns. You see Buffalo, so I'm trying to get some Buffalo. But again, like, they spread it out so much in the wide receiver. So to me, it's kind of like Allen. And then if you're going to get that ceiling, kind of like Chris said, you want to try to tack on a little bit of the Saints. So hopefully get pushed a little bit, or just, I think James Cook is a very strong play. San Francisco 25, the Rams 26. I'm always looking for like that 24, 25 number in these types of game environments. And then I kind of do my defensive breakdowns with my purity score that I kind of shared earlier, to try to tackle some of these game environments. A couple of things that I wrote down, and Chris, if you'd like to share some of the things I kind of wrote down. Herbert doubles this week. I think Jackson Dart is kind of interesting in the same game environment. I wrote down Goff doubles. Jaden doubles, and I also wrote down Purdy doubles, and then also some Baker doubles. Those are some of the things I'm thinking about, and also maybe some Hurts skinny, or a Hurts double with Goddard. Some of the things that I'm kind of thinking about as I'm trying to build based on the draft room as it's going.
And there are 12 good quarterbacks this week too. If you take Purdy and at the Q tag, and you're just like, I'll swap to whatever the 12th quarterback was. It's just not a big deal. Like, I really like Michael Porter. Michael Pittman, MPJ. I got confused with basketball for a second, but I really like him. He's got like a 20+% target share. He's been outperforming Josh Downs 2 to 3 weeks, but obviously if someone takes him, Josh Downs is a really good secondary option that no one's going to own. He's going to be lower owned than MPJ. And I think right now the biggest value in the Dawg Bowl right now is probably Kyren Williams. And I think I saw him going in the end of the second, early third, right when it opened. And I'm like, oh, this guy should be going a lot higher. And once the projections, all the projections come out, aka Big ETR.
Right.
He's going to slide up to the early second probably, and it's just good to be on that. I know a lot of people are attacking Omari and Hampton, rightfully so, because he's all the usage.
Right.
And I don't know if that's a good move so early on because his ADP was depressed and people were just taking him at 8, 9, 10 the whole time. And me, all I could think about when the slate opened was like, oh, I can get James Cook and I can get Derrick Henry on the same team. And I tried, but I just got in too late. After like 2 drafts, the ADP shifted and it's done. So like getting those first 2 drafts in when it drops is so impactful if you think you have an edge on somebody. And that's go ahead.
Yeah, I jumped in the first one Monday, and I was trying to get maybe second or third round Hampton because I was doing the playbook, and he was like third round, and that didn't happen. He went at that 1-2 turn.
It's the same guy. This one guy named Urbanik, he probably has 100% exposure to Omari and Hampton. Yeah, I mean, so like a little bit like my process that I love your process, Math, and I need to incorporate some of this that you're doing. But my process is I save every board. I look through the board. I go, hey, what are these guys that have the red badges doing that I know are productive and profitable in this environment? And I go, oh, I didn't think about that guy. Then I start looking into the guy. I go, hey, maybe I need to incorporate this guy into my in my repertoire. So like that's what just talking to your friends about these slates is just so important to get you thinking about other players. Yeah, and you don't get too focused.
Exactly. And just some of my notes on that, and I'm kind of getting big on this Indy Rams game, just like you, because I also like these when they go outside the conference. You know, it's also in a dome, so we like that as well. You know, but I got Indy can be run on and passed on. They've been letting up some big plays all year, but they've also been playing with the lead all year, so we don't really have good, defensive stats on them yet, especially on their pass defense. A lot of plays. So there'll be a lot of plays in this game. And then vice versa, the Rams are top 6 in pressure rate. So one thing, and this kind of goes to your Kyron shout out, is Dimes is going to get pressure put on him this week, probably for the first time all season, potentially. So can he live up to the pressure in his face that the Rams DST is going to do? And then vice versa, the Rams secondary has given up big plays as they're playing a lot of single high, and they're blitzing quite a bit. So Michael Pittman could break loose if Dimes can handle the pressure, but if not, it could be a good rushing game for the Rams on the flip side if they control the game. So there's a lot of ways that this game can go, and there's a lot of good angles that you can play it.
Because you're kind of thinking as well, like, hey man, if Indy can keep up, then Matthew Stafford might have a day, right? He always has that one slate a year usually where he throws 4 touchdowns, 1 to each wide receiver, 1 to a running back, and then he has some tertiary piece that's not on the menu, like Tutu or something like that. And you're just like, oh, he scored 28 points, but everyone scored 19, and you're like, oh, I mean, if you didn't have Stafford doubles, you're probably not making it. But it's not. It's going to be low owned as well. So I like that game a lot, and there's a lot of different ways you can get at it, and that's what I like. So in the 5th and 6th round, MPJ is always there. So it's like, okay, let me just click them.
Yeah, and
stack them.
Yeah. One shout out for Roto Run is with Alec Pierce out or potentially out with a concussion. I actually have clicked Josh Downs already once this week. Something kind
the deep guy is probably going to be AD Mitchell if Alec Pierce is out. So we I think Nez almost qualified one year with Alec Pierce and A-Rich one year when they were playing really well in the first week one. So I talk to Nez and Chad a lot, like just constantly talking to them about like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And they're just really good guys to bounce off information and ideas.
Nice. You guys didn't even talk about a couple of the games that kind of stood out to me. The Baltimore Chiefs game, just looking at the implied team totals, like just looking at that one has a pretty high implied team total. And then the Raiders game also had, like, both teams in both those games meet the metric that Math is talking about of teams that are going to score 3+ touchdowns or projected to score, over 3 touchdowns. gets kind of interesting just looking at those scores, and they don't really stand out that much from a like players that you love perspective. But obviously, like the Bears, you can play it through Rome, go back to Caleb, and then you've got, I don't know what we're doing with Bowers at this point. Is he falling in drafts at this point?
No, second round pick, mid second round.
I don't think he's a good value in the second round. I'd rather have Amon-Ra or a running back
seems hurt
at that point.
Yeah.
He's playing on that knee injury, right? That's what he's doing, right?
Yeah. The Bears can't stop anybody. So there's a 2-touchdown game that could potentially happen with Bauer. So I don't want to definitely not going to X him out, but I definitely want to get him at value if I can this week.
Yeah.
So quickly position by position, Chris, I know you already kind of mentioned pretty deep quarterback, and I completely agree because Lamar's against Kansas City. Kansas City is going to try to do everything they can to slow him down. Definitely has a high ceiling because of all that rushing work. Allen's going to need to put up 3 touchdowns to probably separate himself. And then you got Hurts in a pretty good matchup. Caleb, I think he's everyone's darling. He's already going in the 2-3 turn in a lot of drafts. I think I've seen Nez take him a ton in the 2-3 turn so far in the Dawg Bowl. Jaden's an interesting one with the Q tag. I definitely been playing that one and getting 4th round. Jaden feels pretty good, especially if he plays. I like Herbert a lot this week. I don't mind Mahomes because Baltimore's actually their DST hasn't been playing very well, as we saw last night. May's interesting against Carolina. I think there'll be a lot of rushing potential. If he does it, that's the question. And if he can make some good accurate throws downfield or not.
I definitely want to highlight Josh Allen for a second. If that game goes the way Seattle went with them, he's not going to beat his ADP. Like, he will lose you the week.
Yeah.
Like, and not to be like, oh God, don't fade Josh Allen, but like that is in the back of my head. I'm like, hey, because we just saw what they did to Miami, right? Josh Allen had 23 points. That's not going to be enough this week.
Yeah.
James Cook had 19, and that's a usable week for a running back. So it's very important to keep that in mind when you're drafting. Hey, and the opportunity cost is so high right now with the limited amount of running backs. So like if I could get a James Cook and combine that with Bucky, I'm in heaven. I'm like, I got these 2 guys. Now I can stack like Danny Dimes and MPJ or stack like Baker and Igbuka, something like that.
Yeah, it's a great shout because I feel like anytime I can get Bucky in the second round, it just feels so good. Like your teams just look and it just layers out so nice because then you can kind of do what you want and build out of that secondary game environment after getting 2 nice running backs early.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I completely agree. So anything at the running back? I mean, like as you said, it seems pretty thin. These guys all go early, first round now. I mean, Amari's pretty much there in that 1-2 turn. Bucky was falling early, but I think he's already at 14. He doesn't fall too far anymore. And then as good shout out, like you already said, that Kyron Williams ADP is a little fake right now because he does slide a little bit. But I think as people start drafting these more and more, they're realizing the importance of at least getting 1 or 2 in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. So I have it right now where CMC is obviously the 101. I really like Puka as the 102, but like the opportunity cost for running back is so high. Right. I'm looking at Saquon or JT as the 2. And Bijan, I really like Bijan, but the problem with Bijan is that offense going to get it together. Like last week, they were terrible. And here's the thing. The problem is all these defenses, if Carolina figured it out, just spy on Bijan, they're going to lose all the yardage. They're just going to run up there every time, and he's going to try to dump it off, and it's going to be a pick 6 or a loss for yards. It's a terrible scenario. I like Gibbs. That front 7 does scare me. That's why I kind of feel like Saquon should probably go ahead of Gibbs and Bijan. And plus, he had an off week last week. The Rams did a good job holding him down, and maybe they do the same to JT. I doubt it, but I kind of like Saquon. Like, hey, give me Saquon at 103 or 104. I'll probably be overexposed to Saquon this week.
Yeah, good shot. Washington has really won the trenches so far, offensively and defensively. And they got a pretty good sized mismatch there. So it might be tough sledding. I think you're going to see a Bijan. It's going to be through the passing game, not really just getting it through just the rushing attack that I've seen, some of the early stuff that I've seen, and just watching the games. All right. And then wide receiver, me personally, it's tough to get on Puka because like you said, with the running backs, it's a tough one to catch up if you go there. I think Neighbors is really interesting this week. There's definitely a little bit of luck box there of what's that connection with Dart going to be, but I think we're going to be kind of hopeful and that game could shit out. Nico is in a smash spot. I think he's a really interesting one. If you can pair him with a nice RB1, I think that's a good way to play it. Rome's got a good matchup. St. Brown's got a good matchup. Adams got a pretty good matchup. And then it kind of dies off a little bit. These are all good, kind of a big tier for me. I kind of like Tet against New England this week. New England's been really bad against wide receivers. They haven't even been able to scheme him out. So I think Tet is an interesting click this week, and maybe a pair with May. Let's say that game hits the over and it's just those two guys score touchdowns. Some of the things that I'm thinking about.
Yeah, F1's going to be out too, so Debo's a good shot here as well. Like he's gonna be the wide receiver one again. And I really love Keenan Allen here. Like you were talking about the LAC game. Like I keep looking, I'm like, Keenan Allen the fifth, he's the only guy with 60 yards and a touchdown in every game he's played in so far. Yeah. So he's getting fed at the cost of Ladd, right? So you're getting poor man's Ladd in the 5th or 6th round here, and you're just eating it all day. That's why if you get a really good running back start, you can make it up at wide receiver pretty easy.
Yeah. Yeah. My notes say it's like, this is a great spot for Debo that I have in my notes. So that Jaden Debo pairing, I don't know if I landed it yet, but it's definitely high on my priority to-do list. Maybe we can do that here shortly.
No, I'll say this too about the Puka one. If you take Puka, you're pretty much locking yourself in as the 1-1-3-1, because you're praying that, hey, maybe Kyron will get back to the baby, and then at that point you're like, well, I'll just take him on or off. He's there, So you're just basically, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah.
Good shout. And then tight ends, we got, Bowers and Warren up top. Laporta, kind of interesting against Cleveland. And then you got these guys that are just kind of, Juwan's just doing it by routes and targets. Henry just had a big spike week, so I think a lot of people are chasing that. Kelsey hasn't done much. Maybe it's a game against Baltimore. I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's got it, but tough to tell.
He doesn't got it, dude.
Yeah, I haven't clipped him.
He cost me $3K week 2 when he dropped that touchdown. And then and I just watch him. He's dusted, dude. He's dusted.
Yeah.
I feel like this is really just 6th round tight end week. Like,
yeah, and it's starting to play out that week. I think the draft that I was in right before this, I was in there with Chad, kind of talking to Chad about it, and it was starting to be that blue wall in the 6th round. Again, like we saw in week 2.
I'll give a shout to the to Neil's call about the Baltimore KC game. I'm clicking actually Isaiah Likely a lot because I'm like, no one's going to take him. He's probably coming back. And if he doesn't, there's 100 tight ends that can match what he was going to do anyways. Yeah. And I'm like, did you see how frustrated Lamar was last night? Yeah. I'm like, dude, he needs another target, like where he can just let it go and get open real quick. And why want to be the young tight end, just getting out and making moves? Because you saw yesterday, right? Mark Andrews looked kind of slow. He looked kind of lumbering. Like he got it in the end zone twice, but he looked slow doing it.
Those look like all design plays. Just these were like Mark Andrew plays, but it was nothing that if his number didn't get called, he wasn't going to make a play on his own. It looked very schemy to me.
For sure.
All right, you guys want to jump in Dawg Bowl and see if we can build a shipper here?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Do you want me to jump in with you guys, or you just want to do one pilot one?
It's up to you. If you want to get your volume up, it's up to you.
Yeah, totally up to you. We'll be talking about it. I've done it both ways. I've had guests on who jump in. We could also wait and see how easy it is to fill.
Yeah, let's do that.
Location error. Fucking A.
Got to enter on your phone. Just a couple shouts that I noticed just as you were scrolling, players that are not looking like they're getting drafted every time. I think Gino is actually pretty interesting. I know he's looked terrible. I kind of love those players that it's like he looked terrible on national TV with everybody watching, but against a really tough defense. And I think that we know that Gino, or at least I think that he's still a good enough quarterback to have spike weeks. So in a really strong matchup there against the Bears, who have been terrible against every quarterback, I actually really like Gino this week. And then Harold Fannin looks like he's way buried in the ranks in a spot where we think it might be they might be dumping it down a bit. So I think he's kind of interesting to me.
Yeah,
I mean, Gino outscored Josh Allen last week, 26 points, man. So
he put up 26 last week. Okay, yeah, it was 2 weeks ago that he sucked on national TV.
Dude, so I have this running joke. So we have a big dog team with a bunch of ship chasing guys that were in a sub channel, and I fight about this all the time. So I'm always on an island. I'm like, hey, round 18, Trey Tucker, let's take him. I'm like, Gino's gonna shove the ball down people's throats. Like, let's throw it deep. Everyone wants Brock Bowers. Like, oh, we got Brock Bowers already. Let's just buy some of that offense because like everyone in ship chasing loves Brock Bowers. So I'm literally sitting there going, hey, you know what'd be good? Trey Tucker, guys. And I'm like working, doing some stuff, and I didn't even look. They ended up picking Brashard Smith. And I'm like, so like, needless, we are advancing. We are like top 2, right? But I like to like right in there. I go, oh, hey, remember, guys, we could be in the one slot with Trey Tucker here. He's already scored 4 touchdowns on the year. I mean, he is the wide receiver too. He is. Yeah. Dante Thornton, Jack Beck, they're all smoke screens. Trey Tucker's the guy.
Yeah, I watched the game. I was watching the All 22. I was catching up on the condensed stuff on. I have the NFL Plus kind of script. That's nice. So I don't have to really, Sundays are usually kind of family time too a little bit. So usually Monday I kind of watch the condensed version. They're scheming him running across zones like every other play. And all it takes is for a communication breakdown. And with his speed, they lose him and he's gone. So it's a really well offense scheme there. It's just, is it going to last? We'll see, but they're using them smartly at least.
Why wouldn't it last? How well it's working? Like at least for a while, you got to think they got to keep trying it.
Yeah. I think defenses will catch up.
True.
They're running they're just running the same thing and then they're mirroring it and running it from the other direction. They're just doing the same thing over and over. And it worked 3 times. Actually, it was twice. It worked twice. Exact same play twice, just mirrored different on different hash marks against Washington. It was so funny. I was watching and I had to rewind it and rewatch it again. It's like that's the exact same play. They got them twice.
Not only that, you think they get their rookie running back that they spent such a high pick on involved in the game. Like that usage in the splits is like a little pop. Like it makes me question the coaching staff like a little bit. I'm like, dude, you guys just spent a top 6 pick on a running back. Run him into the ground. He's trucking people. Like it doesn't matter like if it's not going well. Like you got to let him get these reps. Yeah. Like, I mean, look at Amari and Hampton last week. They were not giving him reps. Like he was splitting it down the middle with Najee. And then he's finally, I'm watching him and I'm talking to the guys. I'm like, dude, Amarian, he's looking like Trent Richardson almost, like the way he's just banging into the line and not even looking. And then he got a couple more reps and he was getting fed and they're using him as an option. And I'm like, oh, this is why we drafted him. I'm like, this is why we drafted him so high because he's actually hitting the hole well when he finds the hole. But yeah, like when he doesn't have those reps, man, he looked terrible. Like I thought this. Yeah. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I just remember thinking the same thing about Jonathan Taylor his rookie year. Like, he kept on running into his linemen and stuff. I was like, this guy looks like he sucks. Like this guy's supposed to be so good and just doesn't look good. And obviously now he's awesome because he got those reps. But yeah, I remember early on it was like he does not look good at all. Had that same kind of thought. But yeah, Hampton, I agree. He probably just needs reps. We probably just need reps for all these rookie running backs.
Let me write in this chat here.
Yeah, we have 7. We need 5 more to fill this. If anybody wants to join with us.
Yeah. And one thing I was thinking, this Genty decision right now, kind of 3rd round Genty has been weighing it back and forth. Chicago has been pretty bad against the run. So it may be a good get right spot for Genty this week because they're they're allowing 3 yards after contact. So if the O-line can maybe just block a little bit, because they've just been getting stuffed pretty much 3 weeks straight. I think Genty could be kind of that interesting running back in the 3rd round this week. I just haven't clicked it yet, but that's some of the things that I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I've been talking over to a couple guys too. Like, people were talking about how the Vegas D was actually pretty good. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, I don't think it's the Vegas D. I think it's more like the D line. Like, they're really good at rushing the passer when they get into that down. But if they never get into that down, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
So I put a message out to a couple guys. I think hopefully it'll fill soon, so we can get going.
Yeah, looks like we just need 3. Yeah, looks like we just need 3. This is the first week we've struggled, but it could be the time everybody's probably having dinner.
Yeah, it's probably odd timing for some people.
Yeah.
No, that's a very good point too. Another thing I want to talk about that I forgot. The fill rates have been insane these past couple weeks.
Yeah.
So, like, we can't even get a Sunday morning DBQ into like field of practice reports or like buy some guys. Like, you just got to go on blind faith. Like, hey, this guy's going to play or this guy's not going to play, which affects your rankings a lot as well. Yep. So it's very interesting dynamic. I noticed, like, on Saturday, they moved the DBQ all the way down to the end. But by then it's too late. All the grinders are getting all their entries in because they're like, hey, it's going to fill.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I think that's the new marketplace too. I think same thing this week. It might get to Saturday, but I doubt it.
Yeah. I really thought that it was going to be, we talked about it last week, that maybe it was just because people got their money back from best ball. They got their, what's it called? Rake back. They got the rake back from best ball. So we talked about, like, that might've been the reason last week, but then it happened again this week. So now I'm not sure. Maybe it's just going to continue being this way.
There's definitely more people, and I think there's more people doing a little bit more. But yeah, it's I thought that they may postpone until Tuesday, but then I saw them launch at like 1:00 on Monday, so they didn't push it back. Like I thought they might. I thought maybe they'll let Monday be its thing, have all the primetime paloozas and not put any week 4 stuff in there, but they didn't. They decided not to do that.
Which I think they're just like, hey, we're making money on this thing, man. We're making money on this. Like, I suggested to them, I suggested to a couple people, like, hey, if you really want to get the grinders in, just make like a $50 or $100 one. Like, I'd rather do like a 5 max of that than do like 40 entries. Like, or do it the complete opposite. Make the field double, right? And then make it $10, something like that.
Yeah. I kind of like just keeping it the same this year. If next year they want to make it a little bit bigger or something, they can. I do like the 5K entry point. That's why, for me, my personal preference is to up the entry and make it less people so we can get a better chance to get in for the people who want to get in. Yeah.
I think I agree with that. Keep it kind of small.
So it looks like, Chris, you're in the 7. I'm in the 6. We got League of Items. We got good friends and families in here. So, Neil, since you and I are kind of doing this one together, you like Gibbs or Barkley?
I'd go Barkley over Gibbs personally, I think.
Or do you want to do a little James Cook?
I would. Who was the other one I was thinking about? Do you prefer Cook over Barkley? I know you're a big Cook guy.
I do like Cook this week, but I think Barkley's going to break a couple 60-yarders to the house, and this could be a good game for it. Bijan did it in week 1. Lane Johnson's fine. He's playing. I like Barkley this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take whatever's left over here.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of the sweet spot a little bit. This 5, 6, 7, even 8 with Henry, but Henry's probably doesn't quite have the ceiling as the other guys.
Yeah, like I talked to you guys like earlier today. I was like, I really don't like the spot for Gibbs, but at least he's the pass catching back where they will dump it off to him and he could break a long one.
Yeah.
And get that 20 points. That's because, like, what I'm looking for, who can give me 20 to 25 points? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And obviously the big dog can, but man, those fumbles have just been killing my bankroll. They be killing my bankroll, dude.
Yeah.
I lost an eliminator team because of the last fumble from Henry last night. That was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually maxed the eliminator and I'm doing really well. I'm above expectations, so I'm really happy for that. I think I have like 31 teams left.
Oh,
so,
really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So
How many teams do you have left?
31.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't max it. Let me guess. Leg up sim. Top selection every time.
No, not every time. So if I get Tua Tagovailoa, I pass my shit immediately.
Yeah.
And excuse me for cursing, but it's just so I'm a huge Miami Dolphins fan. Like, I don't know if you can see my background here, but I have Miami Heat, Dolphins, Panthers. They're up there. I have my Dolphin stuff on the wall. Like, I'm a huge Miami fan, but I'm like watching that team and going, it's like they're terrible. Like, I'm not the only guy worth investing in is Achan, and that's as long as Mike McDaniel's there, right? So that's going to be a tough offense to get around. Like, Tyreek Hill's really good. I have a little bit of him, hoping that he might get traded, that kind of thing. But like, I was severely light on the bag. But yes, I did like a majority of slows in the eliminator, and I did use the leg up sims a lot. I would say 80% of the time. I have one team. My favorite team is a team called Throw Up, where my kid projectile vomited all over the bathroom. And I had an eliminator going. I was like, oh, I'll do a fast one right now. I've got nothing going on. My wife screams my name. I run upstairs. I'm cleaning it. I'm like, oh, man, I auto Derrick Henry. I'm like trying to clean. I'm like so like I named it. I'm like, Throw Up. So it's still there. It's advancing into week 4. It's hilarious to me.
That's great.
And this is when we start getting paid. So there are more stimmies for the DBQ, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
exactly right.
Yeah. I started with 86, and I think I got 15 left.
So I got absolutely crushed this week. I had started with 150. I had 47 starting this week. Finished with 18. It was totally, which was kind of expected. I have my highest owned quarterbacks by far, Jaden Daniels, and then Justin Fields, JJ McCarthy. I had 5 teams that had 0 quarterbacks. Several, like a majority, were missing at least 1 quarterback. Several that were missing 2, but still had 1 left over because I did 3 quarterback. But it was just a really, really tough week. Even like based on the BBMDB projections going into Monday night, I was projected to get 20 through and still underperformed that, got 18. So it was not great, but it's a fun contest. I'm enjoying it. Anyway.
Yeah, me too. Great start, Chris. Get that Nico fall. That's epic.
Yeah.
I was really hoping it was going to be Malik, but it is what it is at this point. Like I even told you, like, hey, I'm not into that game at all. Yeah. And then I have the 2 games I'm really not into that much. I got both their players. So it'll be good to they'll be my one-off pieces, hopefully, and then I'll probably look somewhere else to go.
I was going to suggest that Buka as the bring back, but what do you like here?
Yeah, he went. I like Adams.
Yeah.
Or Rome.
With Adams.
I like Adams a lot this week.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Maybe we can get a tight end on the way back. Build out that game that way a little bit.
Yeah. Probably not. Like we're going to be after ADP, right? But we'll see.
Yeah, again, it slides. It's his preference there.
Yeah.
I've seen him fall a little bit. Yeah, the eliminator's been a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I beat Nez by like a half a point this week.
I beat Nez last week by like maybe 2 points or so, and then he beat me in one this week. I faced Nez twice already.
Yeah.
Dude, I love BBMDB. So I love going on there and I got beat by Sack, I got beat by Karain, I got beat by Shady, I got beat by RKFD, I got beat by everybody I know in the shift chasing. But then what makes me feel better? I go in there and I start clicking their username, like, I'm advancing more teams than him. Like, I'm advancing more teams.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit. I feel a little bit better. Thanks. Shout out Leg Up for their sims. They're amazing, and they got me on QJ, right? So
I was gonna say, if you followed Leg Up, you probably have a ton of QJ. All those guys are just absolutely dominating with QJ. He's one that I think I IKB'd off too much. I was doing late drafts. I think because I was super in on Jalen Coker, who was also my top drafted player overall in the eliminator, and I felt so good about it until a week before the season.
No, Neil, I'm with you too. I literally did the same thing. I'd be like F another QJ share, and I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna take this guy named Josh Palmer underneath it. Terrible decision.
Yeah.
Terrible. Like Buffalo offense, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert's not going to throw that much. Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Well, there were also like there were preseason games or practices. Like there were reports that he was like not playing with the starters and stuff. So I was like, I don't really want to bench QJ. Like this guy already has the drops. All right, we are. No Tyler Warren. Sure.
Could do a Caleb and get DJ. You know what? You good with Debo here?
If that's what you want to do, I'm down with Debo.
I want to bring up Debo. I want to try to get Debo Jaden in that 4th round Jaden.
Yeah. He's still day to day, right? So it's a risk, but fun when you have Debo. Where does Terry go? Terry goes late, right?
Yeah,
he's undrafted pretty much.
Yeah, I think I clicked him on Monday, but it sounds like he's going to be out, right? Is that what we're hearing?
Oh, is that right?
That's correct. He's uncertain to play, and it doesn't look good. So
yeah.
I didn't realize he was hurt. When did that happen?
Late in the game, he came down with a quad injury.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, it's terrible for me because Terry's one of my most owned guys in BBM. I was like, I like Jaden.
Yeah,
might as well take Terry. Hope Jaden comes back. I probably should have been doing it the other way, So
yeah.
So yeah. I'll tell you, this is a team of guys I never take. So I'm loving it. I got Gibbs, I got Chuba, I got Nico. Now I'll set up my stack hopefully with one of the guys, like who knows, Keenan, maybe MPJ comes back. We'll see. Nice.
Where did you fall on Keenan? That's like the one thing the leg up guys got wrong was they were super out on Keenan. Math the most in on Keenan, and then I fell closer to the math end of the spectrum, but not all the way there. Where'd you go, Chris?
So I have a lot of PTSD from Will Fuller. So I used to draft Will Fuller like 20%. I was like, he's gonna play Miami, he's gonna dominate, and then I just took a giant L. So when Keenan was like not signed, I was like, not doing this again. I probably have less than 8% on BBM. I do like taking him though. When he finally signed with LA, I was like, oh, that F's Lad. I go, Lad's ADP is terrible now. Yeah. I'm like, anyone who picked him over JT is kicking themselves right now.
Oh, big time. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the bigger mistakes he could have made. Like that second round decision, just huge.
Yeah. Taylor 2nd round is looking so good right now.
Yeah.
I wish I took him
3rd round
over. Yeah, sometimes 3rd round. I wish I took him more over Bucky. I think I was probably a little bit more Bucky over JT in the 2nd round.
I definitely was. Yeah.
Same.
But I think I got quite a bit of JT still. Our last draft we did together, we got to chase JT one out of the 1 hole. But that team's actually doing okay, Neil. That last team is actually, I think it's close.
Well, is it a BBM team that you're 150th? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, my last 150 on the BBM side.
My
one and only fan and share.
Oh, nice. So currently I'm advancing 32 in BBM, so feeling pretty good about that. I'm advancing 1 team that I did with a guest streamer. So I did like 31 or 32 with guests on streams, and I'm only advancing 1 out of all of those. So apparently I just do better when I draft off stream, it seems.
Yeah, I just the stream drafts seem really sweaty.
Yeah, it's a lot of the same people.
Prime basketball season, yeah.
I used to have a bit too where I would go into every streamer's draft to try to draft them just because they're talking, they're busy, they're missing clicks.
Yeah.
I used to joke around with Pete. I was like, hey, drafting with streamers is plus EV. Like it's always plus EV.
I mean, Pete worked that into his Best Ball Bros video, didn't he?
Yeah. And I want to comment, he was wearing a Miami jersey. So
nice. Oh yeah, mocking you. Love it.
I'm pretty sure he was mocking me. I'm almost 100% sure.
You went to the Ship Chasers event, didn't you? The big boat.
Oh
event?
Yeah. We went on my cousin's yacht.
Yeah, oh, that's your cousin's yacht. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Starboard Yachts. Hashtag advertising.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. If you ever need anything in Miami, you can hit me up and I'll hook you up with him.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, I was bummed I couldn't make it. It was just the time of year was just tough on me.
My invite got lost in the mail.
You just got to be in the channel, dude. So
Yeah.
to put out to everybody.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, really? Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
realize that.
it's anyone in the channel that wants to go.
I probably couldn't have made it happen anyway. But no, it looked like a lot of fun.
No, it was tough for me. I was having like reservations too. I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can make this. I'm like, but I got it because it's my cousin doing it. And I'm like, I gotta go. And it was well worth it. Well worth it. Great food, good people, doing drafts. We're doing this guillotine draft. It's pretty fun. We're fighting it out. So
I've still never done. Is it guillotine? I thought it was guillotine, but I actually don't know.
Oh,
I've never done one of those leagues.
The correct way is probably how you're saying it. I'm half Cuban, so
Okay.
I have a little slang in my speech. But
Okay.
100%, dude. It's a fun little contest. Like I always look who's gonna get chopped, and I'm like, oh man, am I gonna get Gibbs this go around? But then he saved himself this week, so I was like saving all my fab for like another running back, basically.
Chris Guillotine, Lou says.
I love Lou Dog. He's the best, dude.
Is it G or G?
It's G.
G, okay.
So just a spin on it is like I have a really common name, so G's my middle initial. That's it.
Nice.
That's it.
Oh, I see.
So, Chris, give me the intel on Worthy because I like that click.
So he's going largely in the 5th round a lot of the time, but I felt like there was kind of like a drop on it. And according to the like doctor reports and stuff like that, they're saying that he's not going to have any limitations, but the risk for re-injury is high.
Right.
And everyone on the Chiefs sucks pretty much. So it's got to go somewhere, right? If Baltimore is going to score, then they got to match that scoring. That's what you're hoping for. And yeah, Worthy just makes the most sense.
That boy's fast.
He's fast. Oh, he's real fast.
What are we taking here?
On the clock. What do you think? We got ETN. That is maybe an interesting click at this hour.
DJ Moore versus Vegas, kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
I don't hate that either.
What else is there? What if we scroll down?
I'd lean wide receiver, dude. I mean, however the ETN guy,
Pittman's there too.
Yeah, I think we could get Pittman in. We're done after this. Yeah, let's get Moore.
I'm good with Moore. That's cool.
Yeah, I like that shout.
I guess, man. So here's the thing. Baltimore didn't sack this guy once. Immobile Goff. And then Mahomes is going to be scrambling.
Yeah.
I guess I'll take the risk. But I really didn't like that click because I'm like, Mahomes may not have to like scramble as much. If that big D lineman for Baltimore is not back next week, it's going to be probably more of the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baltimore's DST it hasn't came out to play yet. They've been giving it away pass and run right now. So I think Mahomes will be able to do what he wants. That's one. I don't think the lobby's open for pick'ems, but Mahomes rushing is something that I'm going to probably chase in the pick'em lobby.
I did that Sunday Night Football, and I got shellacked for it because he just didn't have enough pressure. Like they weren't getting to him, and he had no reason to scramble because they were in a lead the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? How much did he get there? How much did
5
he
yards.
rush? Only 5 yards. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah.
It was working out perfectly for me too. I had Mahomes over 27 yards rushing. I'm like, oh, he's been hitting that, no problem. Yeah. Then I did the slider on the Scatabo receptions. It's nice. Like Russ is just going to dump off from the pressure.
Yeah.
And it worked out perfectly except for the rushing.
Yeah.
Like Mahomes had one rush and it got called back by our famous guy named Jawan Taylor, who holds every time pretty much.
Yeah.
False starts.
False starts. Yeah, here comes our wall of blue.
Yeah. Some good options in the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. These are the times like, do you just double up and take Ertz? He may go here. But I'm always like, do you just double up Jaden with Ertz and Debo, even though they kind of, especially if Terry doesn't play, I think it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. Jimmy asked Luther Burden. See, I actually haven't looked. Did Luther Burden actually play much last week, or was it just that one? I watched. I guess
he did. He got some scheme. They schemed him some stuff. They did trick play with him, and they did some end around stuff. His route participation was definitely in the increase.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a DraftKings play than it is a kind of a six round draft game. But
sure.
You know what? Are you guys going to double Ertz?
It's up to you. You do what you want to do.
Yeah, if you want Ertz, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I will if he's there, but if you really want him, take him. It's fine.
Okay. I have another good click for you guys if you want. I haven't talked about this much, but Kate On looks like a fun click, and no one's taken him. So
I have been. Yeah.
The
reason why he has been is I've been taking him. He's like my last. I think Kate On is going to get a lot of spillover.
I'm game for Otten. Yeah, I was gonna shout Fannin, but I'm totally cool with Otten. We got more correlation there with Saquon.
Yeah, we have the correlation and bring back with the Barkley and that kind of game environment. There's not a lot of guys out there to Baker to throw the ball to, and that's where Philadelphia's been. Philadelphia in the middle of the field, they've been struggling a little bit with their zone concepts, and they've been blitzing a little bit more than years past too. So should be some hot routes for Otten.
It's him and what, Sterling Shepard, right? And Buka.
That's it. Yeah, I've been clicking a lot of Otten. I think this is probably my 6th or 7th, and I probably already got 3 shares of them so far.
Nice. Wow.
I like that shout. Well, let's kind of review. What do you think, Chris? Give us.
I think you got the shipper, man. But I'll go over my squad. I got Gibbs against Cleveland. That front seven's a little dangerous, but let's hope for the little dump off action. Chuba, we saw what Jalen Warren did, and hopefully, Chuba's getting like 20 touches a game, and the dump offs. So that's a good click. Nico against that terrible Tennessee team. Worthy, hopefully he's back to full 100% health and catches a couple bombs from Mahomes, maybe a rushing TD from Mahomes as well, since Kelsey can't move and shake. He probably needs to get on the Zach Ertz regiment and learn how to catch some balls again.
Yeah,
because that guy's timeless right now, and he's gonna. And my thing is, hey, Daniels plays this week. He's probably gonna have to throw more than run, so the ball's gonna go to Debo or Ertz. So,
yeah. What's your dog's name?
Cindy with a C.
Hey,
she
Cindy.
is she's good. She's a good girl. Yeah. She's like 12 or 13 years old, and she's getting up there in age. So we're taking her to the vet tomorrow to get her checked, and she's a good girl.
Good.
Awesome. Yeah. Go easy cards. Get a little young Tet. I like that. I don't think that's probably a low
for sure.
Yeah. Chasing the Dalton, Keenan, good play. He brought Kyron way up to the 1-2 turn. So that's unique too. So that's a very unique build with Genty.
Yeah.
Like that. Nez building out a little naked Lamar. A little mini game with Swift and Myers. A little one-off Kelsey. And then kind of low-owned, no-owned Ridley.
Interesting.
Nez is always good for those like low-owned clicks. And he usually hits on them too, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Would you say that he scrolls the F down?
Oh, he might. He just might. I might say
occasionally.
That.
Yeah.
Got the Purdy Ricky after a good-sized rookie fall. That's nice. A little Bowers, Henry, some alpha. I like the Smith click here. I think he could have a good game. And then Pittman as well. That's a good team.
Yeah.
Good team. Yeah. And then we finish with a Jaden, Debo, K. Dotton as one-off, a K. Dotton one-off, a DJ Moore one-off, Adams one-off, and then actually the Barkley was correlated with Otten. So we got a little game stack, and then a couple one-offs.
Beauty. Look at that.
But it's a nice team. Team.
We just need 1 week of DJ Moore alpha season, Just bring him back.
Yeah.
Bring him back.
Just
Come
1
on,
week.
guys.
Exactly.
Just 1 week.
Yeah.
And I mean, Rome's getting the fun plays, and they're scheming. They got some weird scheme stuff for DJ so far, but
letting him run the ball.
Hopefully the way that the Raiders have been tackling and letting people just run all over them, that hopefully DJ can get in the house here and find some pay dirt. And then, I like that Kadon and kind of low owned tight end shout that Chris, I think there's been a bunch of us that have been clicking that. Hopefully he's not in, kind of like Go Easy Cards was saying, hopefully he's not into block that much, but you got to think that Baker's going to be slinging it quite a bit.
Well, he's been in the past when all the top receivers are out, like we've just seen him crush. So we can at least dream.
I think he's going to have some targets. Just hopefully those targets turn into fantasy points.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's 7:00, kind of dinner time over in the Orslac household. So,
all right.
Hey, real quick math. What do you know if Wirfs is coming back this week or is it next week? Week 5?
He's to be determined right now. Him and Godwin, they've started practicing. There's a chance that he can get back in the lineup this week. I don't know. They haven't said yet.
Yeah, it's the latest I saw. Is that they're both potentially could return this week.
Yeah, follow the practice reports. I'm thinking I'll just quickly checking Coach Speak Index. Tampa. I don't think he's posted anything yet for Tampa this week.
I mean, he's been saying that Godwin's going to come back since last year, though. Yeah. If you listen to the Coach Speak, he was saying that you might make it back for the playoffs.
Yeah. So, as of yesterday, we got to see the progression of how to handle everything, and then we'll make a decision on them at the end of this week.
Cool.
All right.
Well, hope you guys enjoy dinner.
Yeah.
Chris,
thanks,
anything
Chris.
to shout out before we get out?
Yeah. Hey, Chris, unreal drafter, but most importantly, a better human, man. I love our conversations. I love hanging out with you at Dawg Bowl. I had so much fun. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, we got to circulate that video of us drinking out of the Dawg Bowl, out of Viper's.
Oh, that's right. Who has that?
I haven't. I sent it to you if you want.
Oh yeah. Get those around.
Yeah,
man.
All right. Well, thank you, Chris, for joining us. That was a lot of fun having you on here. Thank you, Math, as always, and everybody for hanging out and drafting with us. We're going to get out of here. We'll be back next week for the All Dog Show next Tuesday. Check us out there. Thanks, everybody. See you later.